Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment as we are just under 48 hours away from the Tennessee Titans taking on the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round of the 2019-2020 NFL playoffs. Welcome to Tighten Up Thursday. I hope all of you are tightening up well ahead of this divisional matchup, and what a matchup indeed. Last week, I came on here and I told you all that the Tennessee Titans would beat the New England Patriots by 1 point. And they would have beat them by 1 point if it wasn't for a late game pick six, which I'm happy that they got. But I was on point last week. Now I thought it was going to be 28-27, and it was on pace to be after the first half. But then both teams decided not to score a point offensively in the second half. Oh, I don't know, but still, the Titans got it done. Will they get it done this week against the Baltimore Ravens? That's what we're going to discuss today. So quickly, let's get into the headlines. Outside of the injury report, there are no headlines, so let's just go ahead and get into the injury report. And most notably on the injury report, Jayon Brown, inside linebacker for the Tennessee Titans, will be out for this matchup. Very unfortunate. I mean, this is the Tennessee Titans' best inside linebacker, and of their inside linebackers and of their safeties, probably their best tackler, probably the guy that you would trust the most to bring down Mark Ingram and, more importantly, bring down Lamar Jackson on a consistent basis, and he's out. And that's nothing against Rashaan Evans. Rashaan Evans, fantastic job. Oh my goodness, still, I can't even get over what a fantastic job Rashaan Evans did on that goal line stand last week. Overall, I trust Jayon Brown more when it comes to stopping the run consistently and tackling guys on the open field more than Rashaan Evans. Kevin Byard I like, but he's a little late to the party at times, and he's a free safety, so it makes sense, right? He's not one of the fastest free safeties in the league. He's not slow by any standards, but he's not like like an all-around beast free safety like a Harrison Smith or Earl Thomas in his prime, where he's going to come down and affect the run consistently. He's not quite at that echelon. Hey, he's a ball hawk, and he's going to come down with interception, do a great job in coverage and all that. He's going to come down, make a huge impact against run, and not so much. So, with Jayon Brown being out in this matchup, oh boy, it hurts. I mean, this is the worst matchup for Jayon Brown to be out for. Absolutely the worst. Now you're going to rely upon Wesley Woodyard, who's old. At this point, who's old and pretty slow, at least compared to what he used to be in his prime, and he's going to be against Lamar Jackson here. I mean, we are going to have to stop Lamar Jackson. You saw last week when Sony Michel and James White and Rex Burkhead, when they were going on the edges of the Tennessee Titans defense, when they were doing things outside, stretch runs to the outside, getting found in the flat to the outside, we were having consistent problems tackling on those sides of the football. You also saw, when you look at the outside linebackers, Harold Landry, he does a pretty decent job. But on the other side, with Sharif Finch no longer being on this team, the issues we have in the opposite side of Harold Landry with Cameron Wake being on IR, that's another, missed player right there. So relying upon Camilo Correa to be a consistent force. I mean, this is good luck. Good luck with that. Now, Derek Roberson, this is a guy that has actually been playing really well the past couple of weeks in some spots, in some plays, but are you really going to expect this guy to be, a significant factor and impact in the divisional round of a playoff game? You're asking a lot to ask there. So with Jayon Brown out, this is a big blow for this football team. And Adam Humphries is out again as well. And, this is something that we expected again. I expect, actually, if the Tennessee Titans make the Super Bowl, I expect him to be back for that. I mean, but that's saying a lot. I think in 2 weeks he'd be back. Actually, 3 weeks from this moment. I think he would be back by then. I do not believe he'd be back next week in a potential AFC Championship game. In 3 weeks, I do believe he would be back in 3 weeks. I believe. But let's get there first. But again, he is out this week. So with that said, we just go ahead and we move on to the football game. Let's get into this football game. Let's dissect this football game. And let's get into my 3 tighten-up keys to win this football game. And these are pretty obvious. There's nothing shocking I'm going to say here. In fact, I really should have just gave 5 keys. This is the playoffs. I think playoff games reserve 5 keys to the game. Maybe I should just do 5 keys to the game overall because I feel like there are always more than 3. 3 is a nice number. It's a magic number. But I feel like there's probably 5 real keys to this game, and probably most games, to be quite honest with you. So, number one, stop the run. You have to do it. You just have to. There's no choice. And I think we should sell out to stop the run in this game. Sell out. Absolutely sell out to stop the run in this game. Now, you don't have to put in 6 or 7 defensive linemen. I'm not saying that. But there better be at least 4 true defensive linemen in the game at any given time. And I would consider Harold Landry, he's not a defensive lineman, not in this scheme, but he would be in a lot of 4-3 schemes, so he counts. There better be at least Austin Johnson and or Daquan Jones, Jarrell Casey, Jeffrey Simmons, and Harold Landry on every play. At least. I mean, I would still probably throw out... Is Isaiah Mack healthy right now? I don't even know if he's healthy right now. But I probably throw Austin Johnson and Daquan Jones out there. Now, the problem is they do a lot of running to the outside with Lamar Jackson, but they do a lot inside with Mark Ingram. So you don't want to completely... putting Austin Johnson and Daquan Jones in the game consistently, you may not want to do that. But, boy, you're going to have to go out and stop this run. So maybe defensive lineman 4 or 5. But I say at least 4, right? And then linebackers, safeties, everyone's coming up. Force Lamar Jackson to beat you with his arm. Now, I know what everyone's going to say. I know everyone's going to say, well, he can beat you with his arm. He did it time and time again this season. And yes, in spots he did. But he still only threw for 3,100 passing yards. That's not much, people. And of those 3,100 passing yards that he had, and I know he missed a game, so maybe he would have had 330, okay? So fine, 3,300 passing yards if he played 16 games. But still, of his 3,100 passing yards that he actually had, I think 800 went to tight end Mark Andrews. 500 went to Marquis Brown, and there was just a couple of bombs there. And then 400 to 300 went to, or 300 to 400 went to Willie Snead. And who was the other wide receiver? I can't remember his name right now. Let me look up his name real quick. Willie Snead and that other wide receiver that they had. They don't use their wide receivers much. And I feel confident of our DBs, and this includes Tremaine Brock right now. I feel confident that Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, and Tremaine Brock can go one-on-one with those wide receivers. Now, Marquis Brown may beat you. He may beat you over the top. He was probably the most athletic wide receiver to come out in this draft. There might have been 1 or 2 in the lower rounds that might have had a higher 40 than him. But in terms of, pure speed prospects, he was the best, right? He was the best speed prospect out of this 19 NFL draft. Without a doubt, he can beat you over the top. But you just got to trust Adoree Jackson on that. And I have problems with that. But you gotta give something up. You just have to. That's just what you're gonna have to do. Because if you think you have to take some things away from them. Like that, their offense is too good. If you think, well, we're going to try to be a little, still having a blanket for Marquis Brown, Adoree Jackson just going to have to play him one-on-one at times. But maybe even a majority of times. With maybe Byard over the top for 50% of the time. But I'm telling you, Adoree Jackson's just going to have to beat Marquis Brown one-on-one. He's a rookie, beat him. Point blank, period. You don't have to lock him down. Probably won't lock him down. But do not let him get one up on you. You're fast enough. I know you're coming back from this injury, so you're not 100%. You're not 100% back in your rhythm and whatnot. But that's just what you're going to have to do because they are just way too potent in the run game. Way too potent. You just have to devote almost all assets to stopping that and say, okay, he's going to have to throw accurate passes down the field to Marquis Brown, to Willie Snead, and let me check the other wide receiver's name that I forgot. Oh, Seth Roberts. I mean, that's all they got in terms of the wide receiver core. Miles Boykin. We got to beat those wide receivers one-on-one. That's what our DBs have to do. And that gets me to tighten up key number 2. Absolutely force Lamar Jackson to throw to his wide receivers. We have to trust that Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, Tremaine Brock, and is LaShawn, who's our 4th wide receiver now? Is it LaShawn Simpson, is it Ty Smith? Whoever's out there is our number 4 quarterback right now. We have to trust that they can also stop Miles Boykin. I mean, that's what we're going to have to do. And then in terms of the tight end position, okay, Mark Andrews, he's gonna have success against this team. I mean, you'd be foolish to think that he's not. Now, Amani Hooker, put him on Mark Andrews to me, and he can also have some responsibility in terms of going up against Miles Boykin or Seth Roberts at times too. That's fine, but put him on Mark Andrews to me. Rotate Kenny Vaccaro and Mark Andrews to me, and one of those safeties is going to have to step up. Point blank, period. And put Byard on Mark Andrews. In fact, Byard needs to earn his contract. Put Byard on Mark Andrews consistently in this game. Consistently. And I know it's scary. Because I know what you're thinking. Well, Lamar Jackson's going to throw us over the top. You're allowing yourself for some big plays. And you know what? You're right. But that's the only way. And I want the way, okay? Because let me tell you, actually, when it comes to this game, I actually like our chances in this game. Because the Ravens are very volatile. I knew 2 years ago there was no way in hell the Tennessee Titans are going to beat the New England Patriots in that divisional round. There was no way. We already saw the Patriots model of consistency, the team that they were, and how still far ahead of them, how far ahead of us they were, okay? But with this team, and with the only way you're going to beat this team is really one way, because Jesus, their offense was incredible this year. You gotta just force Lamar Jackson in his second playoff game ever to beat you with his arm throwing to his wide receivers. And it could turn ugly. Because we saw it only a year ago, and that was a different Ravens team, that was a different Ravens offense, that was a different Lamar Jackson. But that's your bet. You have to bet on that. You have to hope, and I've seen it before. Most notably and most recently, let me think of an example. Imagine this. This isn't a one-to-one comparison, but remember the Denver Broncos, okay, with Peyton Manning and his 55 passing touchdown season, his record-breaking season for the Denver Broncos. The year before that, the Broncos also had a very great offense with Peyton Manning's first year in Denver. He still threw for like over 35 passing touchdowns. The offense was great. Divisional round, they lost to the Baltimore Ravens, who were able to do enough to slow that Broncos offense, and then Joe Flacco had a fantastic game. They were able to go and they were able to win that game. And then you saw that Broncos team, that 55 passing yard touchdown team, they went to the Super Bowl against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks punched them in the mouth, and then that great offense just didn't show up. There are some times in this league when you're an offensive team, and they have a good defense too, don't get me wrong. When you're an offensive team, your offense just sometimes won't show up. Carolina Panthers, fantastic offense in 2015. One all-time great offenses. Cam Newton, that's a great comparison. In fact, that's a more apt comparison. Let me use that comparison. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. That offense was fantastic, great. Oh my God, they blew out the Arizona Cardinals in the NFC Championship game. It was incredible. Showed up in the Super Bowl, couldn't score points. They got after them. They forced their wide receivers to beat them. They couldn't beat them consistently. Ted Ginn was dropping passes, and they showed their true colors, or maybe not their true colors, but they just had an off day. Let's say that. I won't say there's true colors, but they had an off day. The Denver Broncos were able to beat them in that Super Bowl by playing good defense, forcing their wide receivers had to make plays, forcing Cam Newton to have to make accurate throws to those wide receivers consistently. And a heroic performance from Von Miller, by the way. Let's not forget about that. That's what we have to hope on. But I actually like that hope. I think that's a decent hope. I have us, with a 25% chance of that. But if you strategize well in this, you can actually increase that percentage. If Lamar Jackson, if he's going to beat us, he better get ready to throw for 350 yards. Oh, and at least 200 of those yards going to be to those wide receivers. At least. That's how he's going to be. If he beats us that way, I'm going to say, okay, we lost. I will accept that. I will not accept, knowing full and well that he's going to run the football on us consistently, for us to still allow that to happen. I will not accept that. We are taking that run game away. That is what I still can't believe the Patriots let us run the ball last week. I mean, they were also having a decent amount of players in the box too, but I felt they were just weak up front. I can't believe Bill Belichick did not absolutely set out to stop the run against us last week. We have to learn from that mistake because we played the game that we wanted to play, running Derrick Henry all day long, and we won the game. We cannot allow them to play that game. Force Marquis Brown, a rookie wide receiver. Hey, he's going to drop a pass or two. He might beat Adoree Jackson deep down the field. He probably might drop that pass. Maybe not probably, but he might drop that pass. Force this rookie wide receiver who missed a couple games, a little raw coming out of Oklahoma. Force this guy to beat you. He better be ready. Adoree Jackson, if you want to earn this 5th-year option, you got to beat Marquis Brown one-on-one. Because there needs to be consistent times in this game where there is no help because Kevin Byard is one-on-one against Mark Andrews and there is no help for Adoree Jackson and he's going to have to guard Marquis Brown. Now, you can give him a nice 10-yard cushion. It doesn't have to be press coverage. Adoree Jackson, hey, we'll give you 10 yards, watch for Marquis Brown, but if he catches a screen or if he's doing a go or he's doing a stopping, you got to beat him. Or at least if it's a screen, you got to tackle him. That's what we need to do in this game. You have to dedicate all resources, every resource to stopping the run. And then Kevin Byard needs to be locked up, and Amani Hooker needs to be locked up, and Kenny McCarr needs to be locked up, and Mark Andrews. That's the formula. It's a formula that will, I guarantee, it's not even that hard. I mean, at least in terms of game plan. Now, execution, okay, it's not going to be easy. But the game plan is simple. I mean, that's a simple game plan in and of itself. So, tighten up key number 3. Be aggressive offensively. Ooh! Look at me, MCMJ in the building. But yeah, man, we ended up being too conservative last week, and it was fine because we won the game. But we were way too conservative last week offensively. I know we were facing the number 1 passing defense in New England. There's no reason why we should have only had 72 yards passing. There's no reason why. I saw Patrick Mahomes, who's fantastic, throw for 281 yards in New England only a month ago. I saw Deshaun Watson throw for 245 yards against New England only a month ago. Don't tell me no one can throw on New England. No, there's plenty of people that have been throwing on New England. It's just they had the number 1 passing offense because their schedule was so trash, god-awful garbage the first half of the season. You can throw on New England, and we refused to throw last week. We refused outside of one screen pass to get the ball in A.J. Brown's hands. You gotta get it in A.J. Brown's hands. You gotta get it in Corey Davis' hands. And we gave Corey Davis one opportunity down the field for you. Get him in a rhythm. Get these guys in a rhythm. Get them going. And Derrick Henry, obviously, run him as well. But we need balance. We need consistency. We need the formula that we saw for weeks. We saw it against the Saints, although we started a little slow in that game, or at least we finished slow too. But, it was the middle, actually. It was like the second, third quarter. That was really the problem with that game. But, yeah, we saw against, the Saints in the fourth quarter specifically. The offense we saw against the Oakland Raiders. The offense we saw in the Week 17 game against the Houston Texans in the second half. That's the offense we need to see. Not last week. Last week was that 2018 Tennessee Titans BS. Where, hey, you can beat the New York Giants. Hey, you can beat the Washington Redskins. Hey, you can beat, those bad team New York Jets, those bad teams we beat down the stretch. Mariota was only throwing for like 80, 100 yards, but we were winning games, and it was cool then. We're in the playoffs, big boy. Put your big boy pants on and let's throw this rock. We're going to run it too, but we're going to have to throw more than 72 no damn passing yards. That's ridiculous. I mean, seriously. How we won on 72 passing yards, that's not going to happen again, especially against this team. We're going to have to put up points. Because even though if we go all out and we do everything we have to do, they're still going to put up points against this team. They're still going to put up points against this defense. That's just the fact of the matter. Because we don't have that consistent pass rusher opposite of Harold Landry right now. We don't have that consistent elite force and drug Casey that we've had in years past. We don't have the consistent coverage ability that we've had in years past, although last week was pretty good. But especially with Adoree Jackson back when he got in the rhythm of the game. But with Malcolm Butler out there, we have issues with that. Oh, if Malcolm Butler was healthy for this game, I'd be feeling good for this game. But he's not, unfortunately. Because then you could easily say, okay, now, Tremaine Brock played great last week, so I'm not even that worried about Tremaine Brock. But I'm just saying, then you could absolutely say, okay, now Malcolm Butler's out there and he can stop the run. Malcolm Butler can stop the run. Logan Ryan can stop the run. You feel more comfortable saying, hey, I can put an extra DB out there who can stop the run. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Because I have no doubt Malcolm Butler would tackle Lamar Jackson. I have no doubt Malcolm Butler would tackle Mark Ingram. No, without a doubt, absolutely. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, ultimately, when it comes to this football game, let me tell you what's going to happen. We're gonna be up early in this game, and y'all gonna get excited. Now I'm gonna get excited. They're gonna be rusty. I'm telling you right now. 3 weeks off for the Baltimore Ravens. Last week they had the bye week. Week before they were week 17 where they rested their starters. Week before they faced the Cleveland Browns, where they won a 31-15 game. It was alright, but it wasn't even that impressive for their standards. They're gonna be rusty. And Lamar Jackson, this second-year quarterback, all the expectations thrust upon him. He's going to be rusty. He's going to come out a little shaky. And we are going to hit them hard, right off of the bat. And we are going to be very excited in this game. And I hope when we do that we keep our foot on the gas pedal. And that does not mean running Derrick Henry on every first and second down like we did last week. And I know we won the game, but we didn't score 1 point offensively in the second half. That's not going to work because we ran Derrick Henry on every first and second down. First and second down, Derrick Henry. And I know he's a beast, and it's great. We need to be balanced offensively against the Baltimore Ravens. We got away with it because that Patriots offense stunk. And because, what's his name? Because they were actually, what were they? They were going to go down the field and actually score a field goal. What happened again? Was it a penalty? I can't even remember what happened. But point is, we were able to get away with it last week. But we're not going to be able to get away with it against this Baltimore Ravens offense. So when we are up, Michael Vrabel, okay? Michael Vrabel and Arthur Smith. Stay aggressive. Get the ball in A.J. Brown's hands. Get the ball in Corey Davis' hands. Hell, get Jonnu Smith. Get Jonnu Smith that ball, bruh. Even Jonnu can get involved in this party. Even Jonnu. Because we need all resources. We need an all-out attack. We are going to go Salamani on their asses. That's what we got it. Lamar Jackson is Salamani. But seriously, okay, don't come after me, alright? I'm just playing. But seriously, that's what we're gonna have to do. But unfortunately, they're gonna come back in the second half. I think we'll be up by halftime. 7 to 10 points we'll be up, and then in the second half, they're going to come back. Lamar Jackson is going to catch a little fire. Marquis Brown might beat Adoree Jackson once or twice. And then it'll be on us. And it'll be on Ryan Tannehill to respond. And then that Ravens defense is going to kick in a little bit. We haven't talked much about them. All of a sudden, you're going to see Earl Thomas coming down making a play against a run or two. You're going to see Matthew Judon get a sack or two. You're going to see Tyus Bowser maybe get a sack or two. And then ultimately, the Tennessee Titans, to me, will fall against the Baltimore Ravens. My final score being 28 to 34. And I do believe we will cover because this is a 10-point spread in this game. Okay? And I feel comfortable against that spread because I feel like at the very least we'll be able to get a garbage time touchdown. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But in order to cover. And so if, for those of you who are interested in betting and all that, I would definitely pick us to cover this game. And if you're feeling so imposed, go ahead and pick the money line. Here's the thing though. If we win this game, it is by no means meaning that we're going to win the Super Bowl. I know everyone's going to say that. Now everyone's going to say, well, we're the best team, we're a Super Bowl team because there's still 2 more difficult matchups. You're talking about then we have to go to Kansas City? Oh, we just went to New England, then we're going to go to Baltimore, then we're going to go to Kansas City, and then we're going to go, where's the Super Bowl located? In Houston or something? Well, let me see where the Super Bowl 2020 is in this year. I don't think it's in Houston. Is it in Minneapolis or was that last year? Super Bowl 2020 is in... Oh, it's in Miami. Okay, then we're going to go to Miami and then we're going to beat the 49ers or the Seahawks or that. Okay, look, that's still too much. It's still too much to say, well, that's it. It's over. We won. Those are still 2 difficult things to do right there. I mean, those are 2. Thank you in the chat for telling me Miami. Those are difficult things. Those are difficult things to do. If we win this game, I'll be excited. But those are still 2 difficult things. And I know we beat Kansas City. You know that game was not. Okay, Kansas City, to me, played the better game in that game. And that game was here. Okay, and I know we played decent on the road, but especially with Kansas City, if they win this week, they will be on a 5 or 6 game winning streak. Yo, chill, dog. That ain't easy. And then going to Miami and facing the 49ers or the Seahawks, screw the Packers. Packers ain't getting nowhere. I'm telling you right now, maybe Packers, fine, maybe Packers. I would love to face the Packers if we could beat the damn Green Bay Packers. So go ahead and root for the Packers over in the NFC. But I will tell you this. If we win this game, I'm picking us next week. I'm picking us if we win next week in the Super Bowl. After this, I'm all in. I'm picking us. I'm saying, hey, it's 1999 all over again, except, hey, this time Left's going to be on our side. I'm all in. I'm picking up. I'm picking all the way. I'm saying Tennessee Titans all the way because I'm a fan. How the hell, I can pick against my team in the divisional round. I'm not picking against my team in the AFC Championship, and I'm damn sure not picking against my team in the Super Bowl. Anytime my team can ever make the AFC Championship game with the Super Bowl, I'm picking my team. Point blank, period. They've shown enough, at least, to get to that point. I don't care who they're facing. They're facing the 16-0 New England Patriots. I'm picking them. Sorry, that's just me. I'll tell you right now. That's not to say it's going to happen. That's just to say I'm not going to pick against them if they can win this one. I'll be all in if they can win this one. But for this game, I still have to be the objective analyst. Even here on a Titan Up Thursday, even here as there's nothing but Titans fans here, maybe the occasional other fan. I could be biased about one. I could get away with it, but I come on. I have a job to do. I still have to be a little bit, unbiased here, and I have to give an honest opinion. So I still have the Ravens winning this one, but I will tell you, if we do win this one, I'll have us winning the next 2. But even those 2 are very difficult indeed. And it would be, let me tell you, defensively, they're similar, but offensively, they're the complete opposite. The Ravens are so run-oriented, and the Chiefs are so pass-oriented. Winning this against this run-oriented team to then being this very pass-oriented, and they are on opposite sides of the spectrum. That would be a feat in and of itself. And then you probably have to face the 49ers who have the combination of both. So there's a tall task and a tall order here, but let's see what happens. There's a lot of volatility that is associated with young quarterbacks in this league. And Lamar Jackson, look, he's the MVP. He's the MVP over Russell Wilson. Okay, I know that's a lot coming from me because I do not have faith in Lamar Jackson in terms of his long-term prospects. I did always say that it would be very dangerous early. I always said that. Now, I would have never guessed MVP. But I told you he was going to be very successful early. I don't know what's going to happen late. But even when I'm still looking at him right now, I mean, dude, again, look, he only threw for 3,100 passing yards. Yo, let's chill. 3,100 passing yards. Ryan Tannehill almost threw for that much. And he was not even playing for the first 6 games. Let's chill. Let's chill. There's a chance here. Let's force him to beat us with his arm. Force him. Let's see it. Let's see it, Lamar. What you got? And by the way, this Titans rivalry is back because, boy, have I been reminded this week how much I hate Ravens and their fans sometimes. Oh, I hate the Ravens and their fans sometimes. And I've been reminded of 2008 and 2000 and what was that? Was that 3? When Ray Lewis stripped Eddie George. Was it 2000? It wasn't 2003. No, that was our loss to the damn Oakland Raiders. Maybe 2002 or 1. 2002 or 1. Maybe 2000. Actually, yeah, it might have been 2000. Tell me in the chat when Eddie George got stripped by Ray Lewis. But I've been reminded of that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I hate this team. And this was a bigger rival than we ever had until, they broke up the AFC Central into the AFC South and the AFC North. And thank you in the chat, someone said 2000. So, I've been reminded how much I hate this team, and I want to get this done. I mean, again, because we haven't had to face him much in the past decade. Like, when, basically, like, after 2008, and even then we weren't in the same division in 2008, but we still faced them twice that year. Faced them once in the regular season, won 13-10, and then lost in the divisional round 13-10 when we would have went on and won the Super Bowl. We would have went on and won the Super Bowl. I hope y'all realize that. Like, y'all do understand that, right? Like, I do understand if the Titans would have won in 2008 against the Ravens, they would have won the Super Bowl. But that's neither here nor there. I hate this team. In fact, I feel like I have a stronger hatred. It's been renewed. It reminds me of my childhood hated team. I ain't really thought about them like that in a while because we haven't faced them much. We faced them last year. Mariota got sacked however many times. Whatever. We beat them the year before, and then the year before then it was like Bettenberger was out there. The time before that was like maybe the Jake Locker era. Like we haven't really hated the Ravens in a while, but oh yeah, they reminded me this week. I don't like that team. I don't like that team at all. Hopefully we get it done, man. Hopefully we get it done. So there was a super chat I wanted to mention. It came from Chad Bagley, who says, our defensive coordinators played against the Ravens offensive coordinator when they played against the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I think that's an underrated advantage for us. That's actually a decent point. And wow, thank you, Chad Bagley, for bringing up that point. Dean Pease was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens when they faced the 49ers in the 2013 Super Bowl following the 2012 season. I can't remember the Super Bowl numbers. I'm bad with Super Bowl numbers, but I'm good at remembering what year they were in and also what season they followed. So yeah, it was following the 2012 season and the February 2013 Super Bowl between the 49ers and the Ravens. And, Greg Roman was the 49ers offensive coordinator. And he's the coordinator for the Ravens now. And he's a guy that implemented a lot of stuff that helped Colin Kaepernick have tremendous success. And in that game, they did a great job of stopping Colin Kaepernick in the first half. And then in the second half, Kaepernick went off, and they almost won the game. And I expect a very similar game here, except I do believe ultimately that Greg Roman coordinated team will win here. But that's actually a great and very astute point by Chad Bagley. And I think that might help us here. Yeah, that's actually a great point by Chad Bagley there. So thank you for that, and thank you for that great insight right there. So, with that said, I'm going to answer a couple questions, and then we'll get out of here. If you have any comments for me, at me in the chat, at SportsFanEntertainment. And then I'll answer some questions, and then I will get out of here as we prepare for Saturday. And again, I will be live. I'm canceling my Saturday plans. My Saturday night plans again are canceled. I'll be live right after the Titans-Ravens to discuss either a win or a loss. And that will be very interesting indeed. And win or loss, I'll still be back here next week and every week for Tighten Up Thursdays. Next Thursday, we'll definitely be recapping the season if we lose, but hopefully we'll be previewing an AFC Championship game. And last note on that, you better be rooting for these Houston Texans against the Chiefs if we win. If we win. Now, let's win first, and then I'll spill that message more after the game on Saturday. But the Houston Texans, I want to bring them to me. Because that is a much easier route than having to go to Kansas City next week. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. We had a comment a while back that came from YP Rax ZX. He says, as sports fan entertainment, do you think we should use Mariota more this week? I'd be down for it. I mean, you saw Taysom Hill and the success that he had against the Minnesota Vikings in that wild card game. In fact, they probably should have used Taysom Hill more as Drew Brees was struggling. I think Mariota should be used more this week. And I'm not going to harp on this, but, I mean, Mariota could have played quarterback last week, and you might have saw a better game offensively. Might. I'm not going to go as far to say absolutely, but you might have. But you can use him as a Taysom Hill, man. Use his athleticism. And a lot of people were, especially Ravens fans, those obnoxious Ravens fans, we're saying, oh, the Titans are so stupid. They're using Mariota in practice to prepare for Lamar Jackson. Ha! Mariota's not nearly as athletic as Lamar Jackson. Okay, first of all, relax. Let me tell you the top 5 most athletic, at least top 4, most athletic quarterbacks in this league starting. Or at least borderline starting. Lamar Jackson. I'll grant it. That's your boy. Kyler Murray. Fantastic. Marcus Mariota. If you don't think he can beat you with his legs, he can. We just never did it because we were always afraid he was going to get hurt. But I really don't understand why we don't do it now. Because now you were paying him $20 million. He's already been paid $20 million for this season, or at least whenever the season ends. I don't know how the paychecks work. I think he's already been paid $20 million, and then they all get paid like playoff bonuses or whatever. Why are you not running him? You know he's not coming back. Run him. Run him. Unless if you're just afraid he might get hurt and then you might not have a backup. But, dude, if Mariota gets hurt and the right tackle gets hurt, well, screw us. It wasn't meant to be. But run him. Run him. I'm telling you right now, if Mariota was in this Lamar Jackson offense, he would not have the 1,200 rushing yards, or maybe 1,300, however many he ended up with. I want to say 1,200 rushing yards Lamar Jackson had this season. He'd have at least 800, 900, maybe 1,000. He might have broke Michael Vick's record. We just never ran him like that, ever. I don't think Mariota ever had more than 5 rushes in a game. And if he did, maybe a couple of them were just like 1 or 2 yards. But like in terms of design rushes, oh God, he never had more than 3. Why are we not running him? Run him out. Just run him. Because it's so hard to stop a running quarterback in this league who can also throw, and that's what he does. The only reason we didn't do it was because we were afraid he was going to get hurt, but now we don't care. Run him. I mean, look at what the Ravens are doing. Lamar Jackson, look, I'm still not completely buying into this Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm not buying into this Lamar Jackson. He's the MVP. I'm not fully buying into this Lamar Jackson yet. I believe if Mariota was in that offense, I don't think he'd do all that Lamar Jackson does. But I think he'd get close. Run him! Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, next question comes from Rahul Araha, who says, as sports fan entertainment, do you think it's a disadvantage that the Ravens have not played you this season? If anything, I think it's an advantage. Because I feel like if they had, then they would be more familiar with us. But now I feel like they're kind of going to sleep on us. Although you could say the same in the opposite direction. So who benefits more from having seen the other team? That's tough to say. I mean, I feel like it's even. I don't feel like one team benefits more than the other from them not having played in the regular season. So I think it's a draw there. William York says, as sports entertainment, stop sleeping on the Texans. Oh, I'm gonna keep sleeping. I gotta get up. Oh, I gotta get. Nah, I'm going back to sleep. I'm sleeping on that team, bruh. I'm sleeping. You see their game against the Buffalo Bills? Bruh. Bring that Texans ass here, boy. I know y'all beat us in Nashville only 3 weeks ago. Bring it here. No, we have to bring it here. Let us bring this ass there to Houston, to H-Town. And let's run it back. I want to see the Houston Texans, bro. I'm going to keep on sleeping on the Houston Texans. And I'm going to sleep so hard that I ain't going to beat the Chiefs anyway. Right? So that's why I'm asleep number one. But look out for that. So 615 Sean. Actually, I'll actually scroll up. There are some more questions that I missed before I get to that one. Nick Carini says, as sports fan entertainment, Tannehill's odds go up for a long-term extension if we win this game. I mean, yes, they do. And again, I think that's a little ridiculous. Just a little. Reason being, he didn't do much last game. That was Derrick Henry's game. If he has a great game in this one, it's fantastic. But again, this one-year wonder stuff is just so dangerous. Just don't do it. Just franchise. That's all you have to do. And then, if you franchise and he starts talking, he's holding out, then fine, give him his damn extension. But just start with the franchise. He's not gonna go. Just franchise him. That's all you have to do. I mean, I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand. You don't lose anything from franchising him, unless if you're backloading the deal. And if you're backloading the deal, you're an idiot. So what are we talking about? It's just the easiest. Just franchise this guy who's been here. It's been a great 3 months. Who's been here for 3 months. Just franchise him. It's the most simplest thing in the world. But yes, you're right. His odds do go up for a long-term extension if he plays a great game and he wins this game. So, Rahul Raha says, you think this team is a lot like the other 6 seeds to win the Super Bowl, like 2005 Steelers and the 2010 Packers. Not a bad comparison, 2010 Packers, where you saw an Aaron Rodgers who had been starting for, at that point, that should have been his 3rd season, maybe his 4th season starting. What was it? He drafted 2005, sat 2005, 6, 7, started first time 2008, 9, 10. So yeah, his 3rd season starting. And Ryan Tannehill's having a very early Aaron Rodgers, maybe not even early. He's having a very 2010 Aaron Rodgers-esque season. I can't remember Aaron Rodgers' stats from that year, but I feel like it's similar to Ryan Tannehill's now. You can, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I feel like that's the case. So there's some similarities there, and I would buy into that. The difference being, though, I feel like in 2005, there really wasn't many powers in the league. I mean, the Ravens and the 49ers, they haven't won anything under these current regimes. The Seahawks have, but, this is still a different team outside of Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll are the only things and now Marshawn Lynch, are the only things that are similar to them back when they won the championship back in 2013. But 2005 and 2010, well, the Patriots are still very strong in 2010. And the Steelers were as well. But I like the 2010 Packers comparison. The only problem is, it's going to be hard for a 6 seed to just win it all this year. Because, the 49ers and Ravens and Seahawks have just been so cream of the crop, so good all year. But it's just good knowing that they haven't won anything in a while. Like, these are not powers that have won in the last 5 years. Before 5 years, yeah. And again, how sad is it that these franchises, that the Ravens, the 49ers, and the Seahawks have kept Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. But the Ravens and the 49ers have completely changed their teams in the past 8 years, or maybe not 6 years since they made the Super Bowl. They're back. Completely back. We're most likely, people would say, looking at a Ravens 49ers Super Bowl, after we saw that Super Bowl following the 2012 season, with completely different teams. Nothing about those teams are the same, except for maybe Marshall Yanda. I mean, that's about it. I think Marshall Yanda is the only thing, because Joe Staley, isn't he gone? Did he retire? No, I think Joe Staley is still there. Joe Staley and Marshall Yanda. Those are the only things that are similar about the 49ers and the Ravens. Only thing. Everyone's changed, and they're back. What are the Bills doing? What are the Browns doing? I know the Bills made the playoffs, but what are these teams doing where they can't get back to the playoffs? They can't win a playoff game. And then these two teams are back to being Super Bowl contenders. Now, they kept their coaches. One of them did. And the Ravens 49ers changed their coach, changed their GM, changed their team, changed their quarterback, running back, offensive line instead of Joe Staley, defensive line, linebackers, cornerback, secondary, special teams. Everything's changed. Everything. Even Robbie Gould. And they're back. What does that say about other franchises in this league? That in 6 years, they can completely rebuild, go back to being a Super Bowl threat. What's going on? Anyway, so Razzie said at Sports Fan Entertainment, you say Lamar only had 3,100 yards, but forget he sat out 4 fourth quarters in one whole game. I mean, yes, but even then, like, you could adjust for the one missed game and the 4 fourth quarters, like what, maybe 3,600. I mean, come on, that's just not scaring me. That in combination with a rushing yards is what scares me. But that in and of itself does not scare me. All right, 615 Sean 615 says, do you think Mario will be involved like a Taysom Hill look? Well, they've been practicing some stuff this week, so I would definitely look out for it. Joshua Agbide, or maybe Agbeed, says, at Sports for Entertainment, Titans don't want this smoke. Isn't? Well, I guess you're a Ravens fan, or maybe you're a Texans fan. I don't know. Maybe you're a Texans fan, because I think that's when I was talking about the Texans, and we do. Trust me, we do. If you're a Ravens fan, we don't. All right, D Davis 24 says, at Sports for Entertainment, you ever gonna collab with Titan Upload? Well, I haven't done many collabs. I can't even tell you the last time I did a collab. I mean, I don't do many collabs as is, but I want to do more in the future, and sure, I'm open to it. 615 Sean 615 says, remember in 2008, we was the number 1 seed. They were the 6th seed. Do you think this is a payback game? Were the Ravens a 6th seed in that? They definitely were a wild card. I thought they were 5th. They might have been a 6th seed, but if you're right and they were a 6th seed, then yes, this would be a potential payback game. Let's look that up real quick. I thought they were 5th seed. I don't think they were that bad. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, making the playoffs as a 6th seed isn't bad. Look at us right now. But I feel very confident that they were like 11-5. Yeah, they were 11-5. They were not 11-5 as the 6th seed. Actually, no, because this was the 2008 year where the Patriots didn't make the playoffs at 11-5. So they might have been an 11-5 6th seed. Can I find the 2008-9 playoffs, please? Wikipedia. NFL. Maybe someone in the chat has said it while I'm looking this up. Nope, not yet. Hold on, let me check that. Bracket. Yeah, they were the 6th seed. All right, good on you. Wow, man, what a crazy year. That 2008 year was just, everyone in the AFC was so stacked, dog. And then the 9-7 damn Cardinals go to the Super Bowl and almost win the damn thing. Ridiculous. Anyway, that year was just ridiculous. I mean, in a stacked AFC, we were still 13-3. We were still the number 1 seed, and we still weren't able to make the Super Bowl. All right, anyway, but yes, this could be a payback game. Thank you, Sean615. All right, moving on. Just a couple more. So, Zell goes hard. Says, can't run someone who's made out of glass. This is in reference to Marcus Mariota. And why the hell not? He's a backup quarterback. Run him. Run him. And if he's starting, yeah, maybe he's not. Run him. Run him. Okay? Run him. All right. Let's see. 25,000 says, I believe whoever wins this game will win the Super Bowl just like 2000. Wow, I mean, that's good on you, sir. I'm not confident in that. There's still a lot of stuff going on in the NFC, and even the Chiefs are still very, very, very strong. I'm happy you're confident in that. I most certainly am not. So with that said, that's going to do it for Tighten Up Thursdays here on Sports Fan Entertainment. I'm ready for Saturday again, but there's a nice upset probability here. I'm giving us 25, 30%. In fact, I'll go ahead and up it to 30%. 30% chance that the Ravens struggle. Lamar Jackson comes out and he chokes like a dog. And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I want to see it. Don't think that'll be the case, but if it is, ooh, something might be cooking in Nashville, Tennessee. Until next time. It's been MJ Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.